being in Dubai and Abu Dhabi for those 5 weeks, it was great for me because it was like not an eye opener, but it was just more like refreshing because you're training and then you hear the call to prayer. So every single person, I don't care if you're the janitor or the workman or the fighter or anything, you're all going to pray at the same time. You're all shoulder to shoulder praying next to each other. And there's no like ranking in that. We're all shoulder to shoulder, we're all praying to the same God, doing the same exact thing at the same exact time. And you don't really get that kind of feeling in America. It's like if I pull out my rug to pray on the street at a certain time, people are looking at you weird, like, oh, what is this? Or you'll have random people just like beeping or saying stupid things because they don't understand what it is. They don't understand the discipline it is to, all right, this is God's time now. We're supposed to pray 5 times a day. I don't care where it is. What you're doing, it needs to stop for this. And every single one of those guys had that mentality. Like, God's ahead of all of us. When you stop to
pray, how long do you stop for?
Every prayer is probably like 5-10 minutes long. So once you begin the prayer, it's not that long. So like I tell people all the time where they're like, dang, you got to pray 5 times a day? But in the end, it's 50 minutes out of your life, 50 minutes out of your day, out of 24 hours. When you waste so much time scrolling through TikTok, scrolling through the phone, things like that. It's like, give those 10 minutes to God. Give those 10 minutes to the person that brought you here.
How does it work on a day you fight?
Same thing. Usually, so there's a morning prayer when you wake up in the morning prayer. Then there's afternoon. Then there's a midday prayer. And then there's a sunset prayer right when the sun sets. So usually right after that prayer is the fights. After that probably. And then after the fight, you pray again. Your late night prayer. So for me also, it just holds you accountable to no matter what happens in the fight, whether you win or lose, I still owe it to God to pray, whether it's I'm thanking him for a win or I'm thanking him that I'm still able to pray. I'm still alive right now. Talk to God. It centers you a lot of the time too, because in those 10 minutes, you're not stressing. You're not thinking about the stresses of life. Oh, I gotta get this done. I gotta get this done. I gotta get this done. That normal people have in the workday. I think it's kind of like a meditation for me. It clears my mind, clears my head, and knowing that I got it done. And at the end of the day, I know that that's the most important thing. I don't care, oh man, I forgot to do my homework. I forgot to do this. I forgot to do the stuff that I was supposed to do for work. But it's like, I did the most important things, which is pray.
And when you're in a camp, I would imagine that kind of having a rigid schedule like that and having extreme discipline and having a real purpose, like when you're doing this to pray to God and you have these 5 prayers that you do during the day, like it keeps you on the path.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys, there's something to whatever Khabib's doing that's not just technique. It's not just that they have great technique. It's not just that they're tough guys. There's also this devout sort of ideology that they've ascribed to, that they live their life by. They're so devout in their religious beliefs that they have so much confidence. It's almost like that's all taken care of. Like they can just concentrate on what they do.
Yeah.
Like that, God has a plan for everything. You don't have to like have this existential angst that a lot of people roll around through life with.
Yeah, we have a thing called tawakkul. It means like God's will. So whatever his will is, that's what it is. So you could sit there and train and be super stressed out and like, am I going to win or am I going to lose this fight? It's like, you just tell yourself, whatever God's will, that's what's meant to be.
And when you're in a camp, I would imagine that kind of having a rigid schedule like that and having extreme discipline and having a real purpose, like when you're doing this to pray to God and you have these 5 prayers that you do during the day, like it keeps you on the path.
The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "The first thing for which a person will be brought to account on the day of judgment will be his salat. And if anything is lacking, he will say, look and see if you can find he voluntary prayers with which to complete what he neglected of his obligatory prayers, then the rest of his deeds will be reckoned in like manner." In the comments section below, we would love to hear from you. Hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell. Share this video with your family and friends. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.